Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you the most overpowered new Rafa build in Borderlands 4. This is actually pretty crazy. It shreds down Bloomreaper the Invincible and does some absolutely incredible things from the start of the game all the way through to the end. This is using a new weapon that's gotten from Bloomreaper, but this can be done with a lot of other weapons like the Dark Beast, which is pretty easy to get, the Stray Sniper Rifle, Asher's Rise, and much more. We can then use things like the bod here, which will give us the ability to shred down his health bar really quickly. Unfortunately, this is like the fastest weapon to do this with, so yeah, you can go ahead here, blast away, and you see the health bar just draining really quickly against the boss here now with the amount of torque 60s we got on it. That will easily get you the platinum time so you get the new weapons. But honestly, this mantra submachine gun here by Maliwan is so crazy. It does melee damage. And the crazy part about that is there's actually a specialization that will scale this up really well with the bare arms, which will add our gun damage increases onto it. What gets crazy is that our gun damage can go upwards of 600%. So we're taking half of that and add it to our melee damage because this gun deals both of them. So the damage output on this is insane. It also boosts up our skill damage so that we're doing pretty insane amounts of damage. Now, the funny thing is we don't even have to spec into any melee damage as well. It's just that specialization. That's how busted this weapon is. And this is a combination of the blue and red skill trees. Now, there's actually a recent buff to the red skill tree, which we'll discuss as I get through it, but from level 1 here, I'd actually recommend sit here at level 1 because this will give us 25% extra gun damage. But as we get later on in the game, it's better to go with the deft hands. Around level 30, I'd prefer going with this. We're then going to take Bullet Buddy Deluxe, which is extremely powerful because it gives us infinite ammo, as you saw at the start there, and it does some pretty crazy stuff with the bonus incendiary damage. Now, once we get down here, the Herga skill here will, whenever we critically hit an enemy, which is going to be often, which the fire rate you saw there, our action skill is going to be restored by 3% per stack, which goes to 15% with a 4-second cooldown, so we can stay on our action skill pretty long. Now, Resiliency is really nice because this gives us damage reduction, and since this is an overdrive skill, we can later get this to increase even further, making us really tanky. But I think that the higher damage option with El Valiente here, dealing increased damage with all sources, the more high shields we have, which is something that we're going to have often. And then getting 2 points into the Maestro here, because this is going to give us increased skill damage, which counts towards the Peacebreaker cannons. Now, at this point, I like to go down here, and we're not going to take Everdrive as we already got the Overdrive duration. We're going to go with Barrage. This is an Overdrive skill that increases our splash damage, which is nice when we can make it so that our action skill does splash damage. Now, once we get down here, the Devil May Cry care was kind of funny, but Temerario is absurd. I was able to get 5 points from a class mod. This will give us 5% gun damage per second when we're in our overdrive, and it's an overdrive skill, so that means that when we get kills, it's going to scale up even further. That's how you get 600% gun damage. With a full 10 stacks of 10% gun damage per second, and it's crazy. Overdrive will double that up way more. It's crazy how much damage we get. We'll then take our capstone ability, Volatile Hollow Points here, which will replace our cannons with rockets that do splash damage. And since this is an overdrive skill as well, with the splash damage is 35%, but that scales up really well too. We'll then go with Soltado. Now, the class mod I got gave us 5 points in Temerario and 1 point in Soltado. That is the best roll. It's really hard to get. It took me months to get it, but it's really good. I don't have the best rolls on it, but I think it's good because this 150% overdrive bonus is crazy when you get a kill. This means that all of our extra benefits, like the movement speed, the damage, and all the ones that say they are a overdrive skill to start, will scale up in terms of what they do. So Temerario is going to get really high with that. After this, I think it's best to go into the blue skill tree. We're going to take the Thrill. This is another overdrive skill that gives us increased fire rate and even further when we're in our overdrive. And you saw there, I shot that gun really fast with this. It's really good. After this, Les Harris is kind of the only other option here. It's decent. Rinse is okay for the reload speed, but we're not going to be reloading with Bullet Buddy Deluxe. So getting the ammo regeneration while overdrive's active is kind of cool because it's 2.5%. With certain guns, this is kind of crazy. The Golden God being a notable one. Now, once we get past that, we're going to take Al Centro. This is another overdrive skill, so it's going to scale up when we get kills. And it'll give us gun handling and action skill handling. The gun handling is huge because it offsets the handling that we lose from using Temerario here, which is 10% per second. This makes us very inaccurate. This makes us accurate again. It's worth taking. After this, you could go with Jacques and Mate here, but I do think it's better to go with the La Garza, which is an overdrive skill, further increasing our gun handling and skill handling when overdrive is active. 60%, this means that we're going to be aiming a lot better. And then we can end off with some Deadline, which is another overdrive skill that increases our fire rate. So when the level cap increases, we can then take further stacks of Deadline, which is going to be insane because it's going to give us a way faster fire rate. And then we can take Per My Last, which will make it so that we can deal damage again, which is kind of cool. Now, as mentioned, the class mod I'm using is the Dancer class mod. I don't have the best rolls on this with the terms of the effects. I was able to put firmware on it, which is really nice. But the big thing is that 1+ point is Soltado and 5 points in Temerario. I have 1 into the Thrill. Either of those is going to be nice. The faster fire rate's good, but yeah, this is going to be by far the best class mod. There's also the Instigator one, which is okay, but I wouldn't say that it's worth using really that much when this one exists and can upgrade our benefits so much. I'm also using a Watts for Dinner, which is the best shield in the game, so 25% bonus shock damage. It's really good. You can use the Timekeeper's new shield and go all in on your like health reduction or health damage, which is nice. The Fireworks is the best shield for mobbing because it's going to shoot off rockets, which takes care of the weaker enemies, so that's really good too. And the Protean Cell can give us 40% bonus shock damage, which is nice as well. As for the enhancement, I got the one that's giving us the Jacob's Bounce Pass +1, because when you get a Jacob's Mantra, that's going to give us even more damage per second. It's kind of crazy. And this gives the Jacob License Parts a 20% chance to grant a critical, which is good too. Now, there's also some fun builds if you're going to want. I posted another one where I use the Quicksilver here, which gives a 100% crit chance. This is really good with the Golden God on Rafa because it's going to do crazy amounts of damage. You can check out my full build for that. But I also got the Vivisecting Throwing Knife here because we don't have any natural way to get crits. So this is good because we want to get crits to chain these around. So you can throw 3 of these at a boss and then chain everything. There's also the new Jet Setter, which is kind of fun to use. I like the Disc Jockey as well. And the Waterfall Grenade is good too if you didn't want to use that. Scully from the DLC Halloween pack is kind of fun too. It doesn't really make a big difference, but I like the Vivisecting Throwing Knife. And for our Repkit, I like the Triple Bypass just so that we can use a Specialization to get our action skill back near immediately. There's also the Kill Spring, which is kind of fun too. I like this one, but I would actually prefer a Leech or a Speed boost on ours. Getting a 40% increase in speed is actually kind of crazy, and 30% lifesteal is nice with the Timekeeper's new shield, but the amp is good too. I wanted these so that I could use the Firmware. High Caliber. This is kind of absurd, guys. High Caliber with piercing bullets gives it basically what the Dark Beast is known for with piercing. Why that's so good is because if you have Jacob's property on a gun, like an accessory, you're going to, if you chain with enemies lined up, like the Bloomreaper, it's got those crystals there, it's going to hit one. If it's a crit, it's going to chain off of that. And there's also piercing, which is going to hit another one, which will chain off of that. So you can get an insane amount of ricochets, and they'll ricochet back and forth. It's crazy. So yeah, we definitely want to get High Caliber going because anything with Jacobs is going to go bananas with it. Things like the Dark Beast already have it built in. You can sub out the Mantra for Dark Beast too. Dark Beast is really nice, but 3 points into Deadeye is also good because whenever we get a critical hit, it increases our crit damage, and that becomes pretty crazy overall. So these two are my preferred, 3 High Caliber, 2 Deadeye, but you can swap in 3 and 2. And even Real Big Fist gives us more melee damage, which is kind of nice when using the Mantra. So best weapon, the Sacrotron Sesquinquadrate Mantra, mouthful. This is the Jacobs and Ripper parts. Now, you can farm this up, Bloomreaper the Invincible. I don't love the rolls. I would rather get fire and shock damage on it, but Radiation Crowd is pretty good. You just want the Jacobs and the Ripper parts because Ripper makes it shoot insanely fast. I also have the Dark Beast, a really good weapon. If you can get a shotgun under barrel on it, that's going to be one of the best weapons in the game as well. The shotgun can do some crazy damage. I also have Complex Root here, really good one. Especially if you can get the Jacob's License accessory. I don't have it on this one currently, but I've moved that to another file. It's a good weapon if you can get that. I also like the Stray too, especially if you can get one with an alternative SMG or shotgun bullets. I also, again, Bod is just going to be the best weapon in the game, so this is good for the large health bars. You have to have the Ceramic Bod, which will give you the licensed stickies. I also like the 7 cents on Rafa. This is a very powerful weapon, especially if you get Ripper parts on it. The Proprioception does some pretty crazy damage. And then the Hot Slugger is always a good one to throw on too. But Dark Beast, look for them. There's a lot of good rolls. And for our specializations, now with Caffeine, action skill cooldown when we use a Repkit, 25%. This means we get our basically entire Repkit back, or action skill back by using the 3 triple bypass. This is really good. Now, Bare Arms is massive here because the Mantra is taking that gun damage increase, which we can get up to 600%, and it'll take half of it. So 300% boost to the melee damage. You're double dipping on your damage at this point. It's actually insane. Riddle You This will then give you 50% more gun damage, which 25 of it goes to your melee, so it's like 75% extra damage on your gun. And then I Am a Gun, which will take half of our actions, gun damage increases, again, getting up to 600% and adding it to our action skill. So our action skill Peacebreaker cannons with the rockets actually do some pretty crazy damage, and they scale up with Barrage. So yeah, you do actually insane damage. And in combat, you can see here, we obviously are doing pretty crazy damage. Getting that Bullet Buddy Deluxe means you just fire crazy amounts. It's literally impossible to see with how fast you're firing the gun here. And then if you're going to put out against a health bar, it does a lot more damage. You see that a boss melting. And again, here we're going with the cryo version. What you're going to see is shredding the health a lot faster. Pretty insane amounts of damage from this. So yeah, in combat, basically just go in, pop your Bullet Buddy Deluxe, and then rip away with your Mantra. If this video is useful, please hit the subscribe button below. And hope you guys all have a great day. And stay tuned for more Borderlands 4 content. Let me know what you'd like to see next.